Wanna be on top. Na 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 with Tree. Boom. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today you will need some measuring tape, some orange yarn, some scissors, a pen or a pencil, and some pins. Lastly, you will need your beautiful fabric. So I'm going to start off by measuring my neck for the neck part. And I'm going to be sure to add an inch to both the left and the right side just so I can have some extra fabric to work with. Immediately after that, I'm going to write down all of my measurements just so I can remember whenever it's time for me to cut out the fabric. Now I'm measuring my chest area just so that it can be nicely secure, and just like I added the extra inch, I'm going to add the extra inch to my chest area as well. Now I'm measuring my waist just like I said before, adding the extra inch, and it came out to 16 inches. So I'm writing it down now, and now I'm doing my waist. Now that those measurements are done, we can move on to the yarn. So now I'm measuring the yarn from my hand to my shoulder, and that's just about how long you want it to be. And I'm going to cut about 10 strings all the same length. So I'm just going to use the first one as a template for how long I want the other ones to be. Now that that is complete, you can put that to the side and you can bring out your fabric. So I got this fabric from Walmart and it's already pre-folded. So what I'm doing now is just laying down the fabric vertically. Well, the pattern's going vertically, and I'm just going to cut about how much I think I will need for my top. So now that I did that, I'm laying the fabric out on the table, and you will want the pattern to go up and down vertically instead of going side to side, because up and down will make you look more slimmer, whereas vertically will make you look more wide. So that's just something for y'all to know. So now I'm unfolding the fabric and laying it down so that I can have a clear space to work with, and I'm taking those same measurements that I did earlier so that I can plot those points all on the fabric. So I'm using that 7.5 for the neck, laying it down and creating 2 dots at the beginning, well, before the 1 inch mark, and then at the 7.5 inch mark. After that, I'm going to slide the measuring tape down to where I think that my chest area begins, just so I can plot that measurement as well. After that, you're going to slide down the measuring tape again, just to measure where your waist would be. And you're going to use the same measurement as your chest area, not the waist measurement that you created prior. And these are the marks that I made. So after that, all you have to do is connect those dots. This next part is important. You have to connect the neck dots to the chest dots in a C-shaped way. So you'll understand why later on, and you'll see whenever I cut out the fabric why I have to do it in a C-shaped way. And after that, all you have to do is create straight lines going from the other dots. So whenever I cut it out, you'll be able to see the clear shape. And if you need to, you can just screenshot what it looks like whenever I cut out the actual shape. And by the way, I got these great scissors. They're like fabric scissors from Walmart. I also got the fabric from Walmart along with the yarn, and honestly, all the things that I use are from Walmart. Okay, so this is the final shape. And I created those C shapes so that can be where the arms would be. And yeah, the sides, and that's the bottom. So up against yourself, this is what it will look like. So that is so perfect. And those measurements really did help. That's the side and that's the neck area. So now we're going to create about 5 to 7 slits going across the neck area. What I'm doing now is folding the neck area about an inch, and then I'm going to create those slits. Now that the slits are complete, they should look like this. And after that, you're going to take those yarn strings that you created and you're going to feed them through the holes that you just created for the neck piece. After that, you're going to take both strings and then you're going to pull the shirt just so it can create the scrunched look that you're going for. To make sure that the strings don't slide anywhere, just make sure that you create 1 to 2 knots on both the left and the right side, and it'll just stop the strings from sliding through the holes that you just made. Now that the neck piece is done, you'll just move to the side part where you'll create about 5 slits, 4 to 5 slits. And what I'm doing now is just folding the shirt in half just to ensure that the holes are equal on both sides and that it is symmetrical. And I'm doing the same thing as before, which is, excuse me, which is creating about an inch fold and then creating those slits. After the slits are done, you can finally separate the fold, and then you will take those strings again and start feeding them from the left side to the right side, which will create a cute back for you. And remember that every single time that you finish pulling the strings through, you have to seal it by creating the knot at the end. So this is the final look. That's the back area, as you can see, and you're good. So now we're moving on to the skirt part. And I'm doing the same thing as before, which is measuring about how long I want the fabric to be, which is about this long. And then I'm going to cut the fabric just so I can have that fabric to work with. Okay, so this is the fabric that I cut out, and I really like that length a lot. So I'm just gonna unfold the skirt, wrap it around myself, and see how tight I want the skirt to be. So after that, I'm just cutting out the fabric that I will not need, and I'm going to cut it in a curved type of shape, because if you cut it going straight up and down, then the slit will not look right. Because, well, at least for me, my hips are wider than my legs, so the hip area would have been a wider slit than like the rest of my leg. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to create about 10 to 13 slits going along the side of the skirt that had the slit going up and down. And then I'm going to take a really long piece of yarn so that I can tie the crosses on the side. Now I'm creating that inch fold again to create those slits along the side. Now that that is complete, it should look like this. And you'll take that long string and you'll begin to feed it through the holes that you just made. And the shape that you're going to make is very similar to a shoestring shape. And you'll be sure to cross it just like this to make it look like a shoestring. So as you can see here, I laid it down in a different way just so that it can be easier for me to see the crosses that I was creating. After you are done creating those crosses, you are officially done with the skirts. Yes, this is so cute. So this is the final look. I hope that you all liked this video. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you would like to see in the future. Okay, bye.